Did you ever wonder which classic muscle cars truly deserve more spotlight? Welcome to a journey where we uncover the most underrated gems from the golden era of muscle cars. Rides that pack serious power but somehow stay below the radar. Did you know the 1970 AMC Rebel Machine, with its 340 horsepower and only 2,326 units made, can still be grabbed for around $50,000? Or that the 1969 Mercury Cougar Eliminator delivers a fierce 428 CI-V8 engine with 335 horsepower, but costs a fraction of a Mustang Mach 1? What about the 1968 Dodge Dart GTS, a compact powerhouse with 460 pound-feet torque, offering big muscle without the sky-high price? Ready to discover these hidden legends? Don't forget to subscribe and get on the ride. 1971 Plymouth Duster. It might not be the first name that comes to mind when you think of classic muscle cars, but trust us, it deserves way more love. So why is this hidden gem so underrated? In 1970, Plymouth rolled out the Duster as a cool, compact muscle car that didn't break the bank. It looked sharp, drove fast, and cost less than the big boys. It became such a hit that Dodge said, "We want one too," and created the Dodge Demon. Fun fact, they almost called it the Beaver. Seriously. Under the hood, the Duster 340 packed a 340 cubic inch V8 engine with 275 horsepower and 340 pound-feet of torque. It could go from 0 to 60 in just 6.5 seconds and had a top speed of 128 miles per hour. Not bad for a budget car, right? So why doesn't the Duster get the same attention as the Demon? Maybe because Plymouth never offered the massive 440 or 426 street Hemi engines. But it was never about being the biggest. It was about being cool and affordable. Today, a perfect 1971 Duster 340 can still be yours for around $47,048. 1970 Mercury Cyclone GT. Have you ever heard of the 1970 Mercury Cyclone GT? Don't worry, most people haven't. But once you do, you'll wonder how this beast ever flew under the radar. It's one of the coolest and most powerful rides from the muscle car era, and yet it barely gets the spotlight. Why? With bold lines and serious swagger, the Cyclone GT belongs in the same conversation as the Chevelle SS or Charger RT. And it's not just about looks, it can outrun legends. Powered by a 429 cubic inch Cobra Jet V8, this Mercury cranks out 375 horsepower and 450 pound-feet of torque. It goes from 0 to 60 in just 5.5 seconds and rips through the quarter mile in 13.8 seconds, the same time as a 1970 Chevelle SS 454 LS6, and just a hair behind a Hemi Charger. While those icons can cost $500,000 or more, a 70 Cyclone GT in concourse condition averages just $66,675. That's muscle car madness in the best way. So why isn't it a household name? Maybe because it's the only Ford or Mercury that truly unlocked the full potential of the 429 Cobra Jet. Maybe because it's too aggressive for the spotlight. Either way, wouldn't you want to own a secret weapon like this? 1970 AMC Rebel Machine. Ever wish your car could shout USA, USA, USA while tearing up the path? Meet the 1970 AMC Rebel Machine, a bold, loud, all-American muscle car that somehow still flies under the radar. Why? No idea. Because this thing is everything the Golden Age was about. Let's start with the name, the Machine. How cool is that? Add a red, white, and blue paint job, a rebellious attitude, and killer styling with a stance that dares anyone to step up. And you've got a car that oozes muscle-era swagger. It's loud, proud, and doesn't care if it fits in. Under the hood, the Machine packs a 390 cubic inch V8 with 340 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque, paired with a 4-speed manual. It hits 0 to 60 in 6.6 seconds, runs the quarter mile in 14.3 seconds, and tops out at 117 miles per hour. Not bad for a one-year-only outlaw. Only 2,326 units were made, making it a true rare gem. Prices? While some clean examples creep past $100,000, solid ones can still be found around $50,000, a total steal for something this unique. Wouldn't you want to own a piece of muscle car history that's bold, rare, and unapologetically rebellious? Enjoying this so far? If yes, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to stay updated. 1969 Mercury Cougar Eliminator. Let's talk about a true underdog, the 1969 Mercury Cougar Eliminator. Ever feel like the Mustang gets all the love? That's where the Eliminator comes in. It's got the soul soul of a pony car, the muscle of a street racer, and a look that's just different in a good way. Mercury introduced the Cougar in 1967 as their spin on the Mustang, but by mid-1969 they dropped the Eliminator, and this thing meant business. Think a Mustang Mach 1 or Boss Fastback, but with bolder, edgier styling that turns more heads at car shows today. The real star is the 428 Ci Super Cobra Jet V8, churning out 335 horsepower and 440 pound-feet of torque. With a 4-speed manual, it does 0 to 60 in 6.1 seconds, a quarter mile in 14.7 seconds, and hits a top speed of 122 miles per hour. That's legit performance. What's the deal with Super Cobra Jet? Same power as the regular Cobra Jet, but upgraded internals built for serious drag racing. While Boss 429s and Mach 1s can cost over $500,000, a 69 Eliminator 428 still goes for under $70,000. So why blend in with a Mustang when you can stand out with a Cougar? 1968 Dodge Dart GTS. Think muscle cars have to be massive and expensive to matter? The 1968 Dodge Dart GTS is here to prove otherwise. Often overlooked because of its compact size, the Dart GTS is a true sleeper. Light, fast, and seriously cool, without the jaw-dropping price tag. Back in the early 60s, the Dart was a mid-size muscle pioneer with beasts like the 413 Max Wedge V8. By 1967, Dodge slimmed it down, but it didn't lose its punch. The 68 Dart GTS with the optional 383 cubic inch V8 might just be the best version ever made. It cranks out 330 horsepower and a massive 460 pound-feet of torque through a 4-speed manual, launching from 0 to 60 in 6.1 seconds and hitting the quarter mile in 14.6 seconds with a top speed of 118 miles per hour. Not bad for a compact, right? Sure, 1968 was also the year of the ultra-rare Hemi Dart drag car, but those go for 6 figures. The GTS, though, you can still grab a beautifully restored one for around $50,000, a total steal for real-deal Mopar muscle. Why pay more for less when you can dart past high prices and still turn heads at every light? 1967 Chevrolet Chevy 2 Nova SS. Ever feel like some great cars just got lost in the shuffle? That's exactly what happened to the 1967 Chevrolet Chevy 2 Nova SS. It had all the right moves, performance, style, and speed, but it was completely overshadowed by the debut of the Camaro that same year. Originally launched in 1962 as a compact economy car, the Chevy 2 quickly gained a reputation for being surprisingly fun to drive, especially with the optional 327 cubic inch V8. By 1967, the Nova SS trim took it up a notch, offering one of the best power-to-weight combos in its class. The 327 Turbo Fire V8 delivered 350 horsepower and 355 pound-feet of torque, paired with a 4-speed manual. It launched from 0 to 60 in 6.3 seconds, ran the quarter mile in 14.9 seconds, and topped out at 126 miles per hour. Not bad for a so-called compact, right? Sadly, with the arrival of the Camaro and the popularity of the Chevelle SS, the Nova SS slipped into the background. But here's the good news. If you can find one in original condition, before the resto mod crowd gets to it, it's still a budget-friendly blast from the past. So, would you take this overlooked classic over a Camaro? These underrated muscle cars prove that power, style, and soul aren't only found in the most famous names. From the bold AMC Rebel Machine to the stealthy Dodge Dart GTS, these hidden gems offer incredible performance and unbeatable value for enthusiasts craving originality. Don't just chase the crowd, discover the true legends that deserve the spotlight. If you love this journey through muscle car history, subscribe for more in-depth looks and drop a comment sharing your favorite underrated muscle ride.